Cześć kochani, witam serdecznie w dzisiejszym odcinku. O matko jedyna, co się przed chwilą w fabule działo. Jeśli nie widzieliście poprzedniego odcinka, koniecznie nadrabiajcie ten odcinek z Let's Playa. Zdaję sobie sprawę, że jest długi i pewnie to zniechęca was do oglądania, ale po prostu musicie obejrzeć. Rzadko mówię, że ktoś coś musi, ale naprawdę po prostu... Co się wydarzyło? O matko jedyna, aż mi brak słów. Tak czy siak, słuchajcie, robimy teraz questika Wishes, także odwiedzimy ja, Miko, nie przedłużam, zaczynamy. Oj, jak brakowało mi, słuchajcie, możliwości, żeby się wygadać, żeby wszystko skomentować, co się wydarzyło, a coś czuję, że zaraz kolejne dialogi. Oj. Miko, co masz nam do powiedzenia?
Why, hello. If it isn't the triumphant traveler. And why might you be visiting the shrine? A sign of piety, perhaps?
You literally told us to come meet you here!
I was just joking. I've been waiting for you.
Seems like someone's in a pretty good mood.
Mm-hmm. Catching up with an old friend I hadn't seen in years was truly delightful. By the way, I heard that you had a duel before the throne, with a Fatui Harbinger no less. Courageous and astute. I must say, I am most impressed.
I don't know what came over me.
Defeating Signora head-on in a duel means that your strength exceeds my expectations. Still, you did end up victorious. I gather congratulations are in order.
Sure feels good to finally thwart the Fatui plan for once. They caused plenty of trouble along the way, but at the very least, they didn't get their hands on another Gnosis.
Wait a second. Did you say Gnosis? As in, the little thing that looks something like a chess piece.
Yep, that's the one. You've seen one too? Gnosis belong to the Seven. They're what keep them connected to Celestia.
Oh,
What's wrong?
I handed that over.
You did what now?
Well, how else was I supposed to save your skin from the Balladeer exactly?
The Gnosis is long gone
The
then.
Balladeer is number 6 of the Fatui Harbingers. In terms of strength, he is superior to Signora. I'm not the kind of person who risks life and limb for any old reason.
For once, Paimon just does not know what to say.
But why was the Gnosis in your
After
hands?
A created her puppet vessel, she no longer had anywhere to put it. As her erstwhile closest friend, A handed it over to me, and I've kept it in the Grand Narukami Shrine ever since. She no longer needs the power of the Gnosis, and in any case, she tells me she has severed ties with Celestia. Thus, the Gnosis became not only useless, but also a potential source of conflict. Is that not a good bargain, exchanging it for the one at the core of the plan? Judging by the results, at least, I dare say I struck a good deal.
When you put it like that, Paimon has to agree. The Traveler is worth more than a Gnosis.
Never knew I could fetch such a high price.
Well, what's done is done. And Paimon heartily thinks we'll be getting it back now. Let's leave the past in the past. So anyway, you still haven't told us why you called us here today.
It's to thank you.
Really?
You intend to travel all over Teyvat, and the time has come for the Inazuma leg of your trip to come to an end, has it not? As a mark of my gratitude, I will answer any questions you may have about the road ahead or the events of the past. What would you like to know about?
About the Shagan puppet.
That puppet was built with technology that has been lost to time. Perhaps she, as a god, is the only one privy to the knowledge of its origins. Still, there's one other thing on this topic that I suspect you may be curious to know. Before A began modifying her own godly form, she took it upon herself to create a prototype puppet.
So, you mean there are 3 riders tokens?
No. The prototype was merely a proof of concept. Its appearance and intellect were not based on A. It was a test. The original plan was for A to simply discard it. But perhaps A thought this to be too cruel, because in the end she chose only to seal the power within it. Later, this puppet wandered Inazuma as an ordinary human male with his own consciousness, until the Fatui took an interest in him.
Ugh, not the Fatui.
Some eccentric geniuses in the ranks of the Fatui made adjustments to the prototype, not only unsealing his power, but very likely rendering him even more formidable than his original specifications.
Shelly, you don't mean...
The object of divine creation is now the one who has taken possession of the Gnosis, and the prototype puppet is now known as the Balladeer.
What a crazy story!
It is, isn't it? Who can say whether it's coincidence or destiny?
About my brother.
Sorry, I haven't a clue. I'm also unfamiliar with the god you describe. But if you still have doubts about A, I would say they are misplaced. Not only does she not fit your description, but she voluntarily gave up her Gnosis long ago, severing her ties with Celestia in the process.
Having met her, I don't believe she was the
That's
one.
good to hear. Otherwise, given that I'm her familiar, it could have made our relationship rather awkward, don't you think?
Don't worry, we aren't looking to pick a fight with you.
I wish you the best of luck. May you soon discover the truth behind it all. As for your brother's whereabouts, I will use all the resources at my disposal to investigate it, and I will also borrow some of Ayato's people from the Shiumatsuban. I'll let you know if I find out anything. Consider it part of my means of thanking you.
About the next step on my journey.
After leaving Inazuma, I think it would be easiest for you to go to Sumeru.
Ooh, Sumeru! We've run into lots of scholars from there on our journey so far.
Yes, well, Sumeru is the land of the god of wisdom, where the quest for wisdom and knowledge is never-ending. But their obsession gives rise to some truly inexplicable things. For example, in Sumeru, knowledge is holistically managed as a resource.
Knowledge is a resource?
Yes. I don't know whether it was the sages or Lesser Lord Kusanali who came up with the idea.
Lesser Lord Kusanali? That's a cute name.
Oh, you haven't heard? Lesser Lord Kusanali is the deity in whom the people of Sumeru place their faith. It's their chosen term of endearment for her. I'm sure you must have some things to discuss with her too. I wish you all the best.
I have no more
Are you
questions.
sure? Okay then. Oh, Traveler. Do you still have the Omamori I gave you?
Of course, I'll keep it in a safe
Keep it
place.
safe. Is that all you intend to do with it? There was me thinking that you might hang it around your neck to show off to the world, telling everyone who inquired that it was given to you by none other than Yae Miko, the wise and beautiful.
Who in their right mind would do that?
Okay, I'll stop. Now, a question for you. Traveler, what is your ambition?
To be reunited with my brother, I guess.
I see. But that is merely a small goal, based on what preoccupies you here and now. Your ambition should be something that transcends the world below and the starry sky above. Something that shines in unison with fate itself. Perhaps the reason you do not possess a vision is that such an ambition has yet to be engendered within you. It's a possibility. Continue on your journey, and maybe that moment will come to pass.
Quest completed. Okej, teraz mamy kolejny questik, jak widzicie jest zablokowany, ponieważ musimy wykonać to musimy wykonać? Chyba to? Tak? Tak? Dobrze widzę?
So this is a day in the life of the traveler.
Wydaje mi się, że ten questik.
I'm learning more about you.
Jeszcze się upewnijmy, czy tutaj pisze, który jest zablokowany. Który kwaścik? A particularly... Aha, czyli to z kolei mam zrobić do komisji. Tu z kolei pokazuje kolejny kwaścik. Oj, ciężko. Który wybrać? Myślę, że zróbmy ten, który blokuje story questa, bo to jednak troszeczkę ważniejsze. Plus da nam primojamki, więc czemu by nie? Zobaczmy, co Catherine ma nam tutaj do powiedzenia w takim razie. Your deeds on SERIE Island have been reported to me by Miss Eiko. You've done very well. But back on topic, the guild has received a commission of ever greater difficulty than that which you accomplished on SERIE. I wonder if you'd be interested. Something like increasing danger? You'd consider that a shot commission difficult? I suppose I should take that into account next time. Regardless, it's not that sort of commission. The person who commissioned this quest is a Miss Samida. As for the details, it might be the best for you to get them straight from her. Well, then, Astra Abyssusk, I await the completion of your next feat. Sorry, Paimon, przycięłam cię. Hello there. Might you be the illustrators? I am YumiYT, yes. And Paimon's the illustrators! Paimon! Oh then, so tell me, have you ever obtained the Martha's sword in the village? The habitant of Dawn Courts, I guess? Yeah! Oh, we get that sword from Kia that one time. Haha, that does sound very strong. Maybe even a bit too delightfully so still. Have you led a life surrounded by beautiful men and ladies? Well then, did you defeat a giant dragon not so long after your story began? Or perhaps did you get wrapped up in some crisis upon which the survival of a nation hung? Have you ever faced off against an elite antagonist force with a numbered ranking string? O matko, czytać dzisiaj nie umiem. Well, I can't say I haven't. But hang on, what do you mean by not long after your story began? Or are you perhaps in fact a traveler from another world, just like the main character in Flowers of Princess Fischl? Wait, what? I can't feel the sense of destiny that a protagonist should have from you. You know, well, Catherine said this was going to be harder. Did she mean that communicating was gonna be harder? This is it. I'm leaving. Eh? What? Don't go! Wait, don't go! Catherine told me so much about you, so I assumed that you'd be more like a light novel protagonist, you know? But in truth, I suppose such people are hard to find. My name's Samida. As for my pen name, I haven't finished thinking about it yet. I've got plans to take part in this year's. This novel is amazing. As such, I need a reliable adventurer to help me make a trip to Tsurami Island. Tsurami Island? That's right, and now the name of my novel is currently The Chronicles of Odysseus and of Fog. The broad stroke of its plot are, as such, a nameless young lady and her adventurers in a nation shrouded in perpetual fog. Well, the plot details are currently still in the works, but my eventual goal is to write an epic novel that can move hearts and souls like Kainos Travels. That's... yep. It's that very same Kainos Travels, in which an outlander named Kino, who doesn't quite fit in anywhere, strides across many strange lands. She meets all sorts of people, and she's drawn into all kinds of wicked plots and all manner of cruel wars. Yet each one of her adventurers shall someday coalesce into shining gold.
Paimon doesn't quite get it, but it does sound like she's talking about Yumi.
So, about your commissions. Oh, right, sorry, I forgot off topic. Actually, I've been reflecting on that habit of mine quite often. It seeps into my writing as well, to the point where I once wrote over 20 pages before even getting to the point. At the time, I wanted to use the legends of the Kitsune Seigo, ushering people into the underground halls of Aranami to save them from a disaster, of the basis for a tale about her new incarnation's peaceful life amongst the people of Hanamizaka. To the point, please. My bad. So, please go to Tsurumi Island and find a way to bring a Marshiro back to me. This is a traditional instrument of a civilization native to the island, which has been lost for 7 millennia now. As to why I needed one, the fictional, obviously, plot of the Chronicles of the Sea Folk takes place on Tsurami Island, and when a nameless young lady sets foot upon it...
Let's go, YumiYT.
They hear a strange sound, but it's actually the sound of traditional Mashiro recording it folk takes, so please, I want to properly describe its sounds, and that's why I need the real Mashiro. You're actually stayed on topic.
Nah, she was almost about to go off on some tangent or another. Still, do you really need a real Mashiro just to write a novel, Miss Samida? Wouldn't a doodle or a food do just fine if you needed to describe the sound it makes?
Writing is a most serious endeavor. You must treat the things you are describing with the utmost respect. For example, if you wish to describe Ball Thunder, you must go to most of them George to experience it. That's the only way you can maintain authenticity and credibility. That sounds very dangerous. True, and I almost died back then too, if I hadn't instructed Kama to get me out of there if he saw that something was going awry. It was slapped up and bad for a few days after the rescue. Everything I could see, everything I threw up. It was all purple. But now that I think about it, the fact that everything I threw up was purple might have been a result of my only being able to see in purple at the time. Sounds more like you had too much lavender melon to eat. Now that you mention it, that's true. I should compare and contrast the two experiences next time. In any case, this letter is for you. Pass it to a man named Kama in Ritu, and he will take you to Tsurami. Island. Please, this novel is amazing. Grand prize is at stake. Okej, musimy znaleźć teraz Kamę, gdzie on się znajduje. Okej. Czyli teraz, słuchajcie, idziemy do Ritu. Język mi się plącze. Nagrywam, słuchajcie, 3. odcinek z rzędu, więc jak przekręcam słowa, a wiem, że parę przekręciłam, to sorry. A już w tym momencie jakby sama czasem mam wrażenie, że nie wiem, co się dzieje. What is this? Samita sent us. Another one, huh? Another? It's nothing. Since Lady Sumida has recommended you, I have no complaints. Are you ready to go to Tsurami Island? I'm ready. Then let's go while the weather remains clement.
Wow! So this is Tsurami Island? This looks really sad. What's with the huge fog?
Samida mentioned this as well.
Kama, do you know that? Why it's again?
The Maushira?
Yeah, that's it. Kama, do you know where we should start looking?
If he knew, Samida wouldn't need our help.
That's so annoying. Does Paimin have to do everything herself?
I think you're forgetting who does the heavy lifting around here. It's best to enter through the large gate over there. Lets you get lost in fog all too easily. I will wait for you here. Look for me once you've secured the Maushiro. I will send you back. Okej. Czyli możemy zwiedzić wyspę. Ja jakiś czas temu robiłam to z wami na live'ie, aczkolwiek mieliśmy wtedy też blokady, że nie mogliśmy wystarczająco jakby daleko też dojść, nie? Bo nas cofało przez mgłę. Podejrzewam, że to właśnie przez niezrobienie fabuły. Ojej, nie nadążam z czytaniem Paimon, sorry, za szybko to znika. Dobra, jesteśmy na miejscu, jesteśmy przy tej alabramie. Okej, czyli odblokowaliśmy sobie teraz widoczność, ale jednak jakieś fragmenty z mgłą jeszcze dalej są.
Ha! Feels like we've gotten our bearing now, huh?
Yep, even though the fog hasn't dissipated yet.
There's a kid over there. The Inazuman kids all ran off to the Desert Island to play when they've got time on their hands.
We should tell him to get to safety.
Yeah, and let's talk about the things Miss Sumida asked us to get in the meantime.
Yikes. I didn't mean to scare you.
You are an outlander, and you've got a little floating girl with you too. That's awesome! I haven't seen any outlanders in so long. Paimon's not a little girl or whatever. Paimon's Paimon, and who are you, kiddo?
My name is Rue. Well, I'm YumiYT.
Either way, the important thing there is
To remind this kid to get to a safe spot.
No. We've got to figure out who the literal person is here. How many years old are you, Uru?
What does years old mean?
That's the number of years that you've gone by since you were born.
The number of years, let me count, several thousands maybe? Sorry, I can't remember anything more specific. How do you count a year, if I may ask? A year passes whenever I hear the thunder, of course, just like everyone counts it.
What?
Hold it just a minute there. Didn't Samida say that Surami Island civilization was vanished for several millennia now? And this way of counting years is so weird. It's probably because they can't see the sun or the moon due to the giant fog. Still, you've come at exactly the right time. Today is the day of our big ceremony. Kappa Steer will definitely be pleased to have a new rare guest taking part.
Who's that?
My good friend. So there'll be a ceremony?
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Exactly. Everyone tells me that I'll be the star of the show this time too. But we'll need to do some things before the ceremony can start. Either way, Yumi, Paimon, come with me. No i słuchajcie, lecimy na to miejsce, ale mi się, słuchajcie, kończy czas do live'a, więc pozwólcie, że sprawdzę parę rzeczy i zobaczymy się tam na samej górze. Powróciłam, pysiaki, i słuchajcie, jeśli ktoś chce wiedzieć, z którego dnia jest dzisiejszy odcinek, zerknijcie na TikToka, link macie w opisie dzisiejszego odcinka. Słuchajcie, właśnie nagrałam TikToka odnośnie właśnie tego, co dzisiaj będziemy robić na live, i też nie ukrywam, że tak w sumie to to zaraz będę kończyć dzisiejszy odcinek, żeby zdążyć na tego live'a, ale zobaczmy, co tutaj się takiego dzisiaj dzieje.
Let me introduce you to Big Sister Mercury and Big Brother Ipa.
Hello there, I'm YumiYT.
Hey there, Paimon's Paimon!
And the perch seems to be in a good state. This year's ceremony should go well. Oh, come on, let's stack in more offering. After all, the pet is the keystone to the ceremony. This is the tree upon which the great Thunderbird once descended. Grandpa Mata said that the maintenance of the perch indicates our respect and worship towards the great Thunderbird. If it's damaged... I know, that said, this year's ceremony leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And the fact that I'm the only one doing work over here makes it worse. You know what? I think I get this guy.
Well, you are very reliable, Yumi.
You're just too reliable. Co ja mam z tym słowem? You are just too reliable, Ipa. What's more, this is my first time making offering to the perch. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, to the next step is to touch the perch. Then help me look the farther around this area. Feathers? Didn't Grandpa Mata tell you about it? Part of the process is removing all foraging elements from the perch. Basically, the power of Great Thunderbird will accumulate within the perch, and it will carry off foraging substances that infiltrate Surumi Islands in the form of feathers. Afterward, the fog will purify those feathers after all the fog protects our island and will not let anything pass through the sacred barrier around it. That's why we need to find the scattered feathers and bring them back to Perch.
Oh, I see. I get it now.
Did you really?
Probably. Big sister Make-It is pretending to not get it.
I can tell.
So, we just need to find those feathers, right?
So we just need to find some weird looking feathers. It's made using the Great Thunderbird's power, so if you have keen elemental senses like Rue does, finding them would be a cinch.
Really? Isn't True lucky?
Don't be silly.
Oh, sorry. Come on, you two. Let's go find those feathers. If you'll help make offerings to the Perch, I'm sure Kapatich would be happy. Alright then, let's just touch that Perch first, shall we?
I cóż, mamy teraz złożyć, tak? The offering, ale najpierw musimy chyba połapać to, co właśnie uciekło. Jeśli się nie mylę, słuchajcie, to będziemy robić w kolejnym odcinku. Także ja dziękuję tutaj za cierpliwość, dziękuję za obecność. Wiem, że dzisiaj krócej, ale ostatnio było dłużej, także trochę wyrównujemy. I słuchajcie, widzimy się wkrótce w przyszłych odcinkach. Trzymajcie się cieplutko. Pa, pa!